All right, good morning, everybody. I got a group of people here. I'm Rabbi Brian. I'm here in Portland, Oregon, but I got friends who are all over the place, and there they are. Friends, wave. You know what we haven't done for a while, and it always just amuses me. Would you look up and wave at the box in top of you and look to the side and wave to that box as well? Makes me feel... It's the little things, folks. It's the little things. Good morning. Is there anyone? I have a beginning. I have a full outline for today. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. A few ground rules. And I was thinking about this, and when we go and we have just dinner with people, we don't need to have ground rules. If we're just out for dinner, we don't, like, there are a lot of implied ground rules, but we don't usually sit down at the table with someone and say, politics and religion are off the table. We're not speaking of those. We are not sharing our meal. We will only talk at this. We don't have rules, but something seems to happen when we get a larger group, that there seems to be a need for some more order and rules. So I want to just quickly go over some of the ground rules that we've established, and feel free to interrupt if I'm leaving a piece out. First is we try in this group to make as many I statements as we can and avoid you ought to's, and instead keep the focus on the first person singular is I. We have a slight preference for emotional shares over intellectual shares, things that come from our heart that hit our souls. The whole group here. The whole group gets a sticker. The group as a whole gets a sticker because in the last few weeks we have, and I'm going to just put it right here on my shoulder. The last few weeks we have done really well at not doing this USA, unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice. We've been really doing well at listening to people, even if we have what we think is the perfect answer to the problem they asked, is to pull ourselves back. They didn't ask for our, if they don't ask for, unless you're authorized to give your opinion, hesitate. Everyone gets stars for that. Oh, also we get another star. Actually, the other sticker goes to Aaron. Because last week Aaron asked for a little bit of extra love and help, and it's a hard thing to do, is to ask for love. It's a really hard thing to do if you're not 9 years old. So I appreciate Aaron asking people to reach out, and if one of my helper friends could post in the chat, we have a contact page if you want to be in touch with people between services and just be able to say, hey, I've been thinking about you, or whatever you want. Please fill out the contact list. We'll be glad to add you to that. We're going to strive for confidentiality. Of course, this is a public setting. We're being broadcast on YouTube and Facebook and But we try, if you're talking about something that someone said from this group, make it a little more anonymous so that it's not directly about a person. It's about the idea. And then I will at times interrupt you. I will interrupt the person who's speaking because got extra dogs today. I will interrupt because somebody might be giving unsolicited advice, or somebody might be speaking from not... If I interrupt, please forgive me. And if one of the co-hosts mutes you, that's because there's extra sound coming out, and we can't always detect who the sound's coming from, so you might find yourself all of a sudden muted. It's nothing personal, it's just we thought maybe your microphone was the one that's hot, so please check for barking dogs before you unmute yourself. It's right outside my window right now. That's why the dogs are barking. It's because the guy with the leaf blower showed up on Saturday, and he doesn't usually come on Saturday. Oh, thank you so much. I forgot about that. And hello to the people on Facebook. We can hear you now, and you can hear other people as well. I apologize, I didn't have that setting fully on. Okay. Hello, Facebook people. I apologize for the delay in getting you feeling heard. What you have missed so far is that I talked about extra noise on the line, only to find out that my gardener is here today, right outside my window, so there's extra noise on the line, and this is on me. So be it. I have like 4 other announcements. At the end of this, it is 8:06 where I am currently. At 10 minutes to the end of service, if you are going to leave and not stay for the second hour, put a little note in the chat 10 minutes before we go so people can say goodbye to you and have a proper send-off. Oh my gosh, this is why there's so many rules that we came up with. Please prioritize your shares. If you've already found yourself sharing 3 times, maybe take a little break so other people can feel heard. I am okay with things getting a little bit warm. And we're going to do that in a second. By that I mean we don't all have to agree all the time. We can disagree with each other, and the heat can get turned up a little bit. This is not Happy Happy Sunshine Village. That's a different channel. We can disagree with each other. Things can get warm. I'm not into things getting hot and boiling over, but warm is okay. Tuesday at 11 a.m. my time, which is approximately 3 hours from now. If you want to join Rabbi Brian's office hours, it's the same exact link you used to get here. I do not read the chat. I'm not ignoring you. I can't read the chat and run the service at the same time. And my helpers, if there's a comment on Facebook that you think is really important to add in, please bring it to my attention. Please ask when you have questions. I think I'm done with all of my... Okay, about raising the heat a little bit. Let me ask a question. There was a little bit of homework last week that was given out with check boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Question. Anyone do that? No, that's fine. A few people are showing theirs off. Fantastic. You get extra stickers. So I wanted to talk about this. I blame myself. I was an educator long enough to know, and it's the quote we had from Thich Nhat Hanh a few weeks ago, that if lettuce doesn't grow, we don't blame the lettuce. If I gave an assignment to do and 90% of y'all didn't do it, I think I'm pretty sure I know where the problem is. And the problem is not with the 90%. If 90% did it and 10% didn't, we can wonder what's wrong with the 10%. But in this case, if only 10% of people did the thing that I asked everyone to do, I must have not given really good instructions or gotten really good buy-in, or it wasn't a really good assignment, because why would 90% of people not do a thing? That being said, this is where I'm going to raise the heat a little bit. I started to feel a little irked in the past few weeks, where I have asked, what have we reviewed? What have we done? Wait a second. I got to make sure I'm going in a little bit of order here. No, I'm in the right place. I played the flute as a kid. I didn't really know I wanted to play the flute, but I had flute lessons. And my practice at flute lessons was a lot of the weeks, the only time I practiced the flute was while I had a flute lesson.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit like some of y'all. We're talking about love and kindness and compassion. I don't want this to be the only hour you're practicing this. And I've started to feel a little bit like I'm doing more work here than I need to. And I would like you guys to own more of the service, to own more of the learning and more of what's going on. And it's not just coming from from me. And that's why I gave the little homework assignment, which was a fail, and I'll totally take that. But the underlying thing is that I feel like I'm doing more of the heavy lifting than I need to. So I came up with an example. So I'm going to ask a question which I think everyone should be able to answer, or could answer if they wanted to. Maybe. We'll find out. Do you have either an example of, I have 3 different things here. So you get a choice of 3 different things. 1, an example of you striving to love everyone that went well or didn't. So 1, do you have an example of striving to love in the last week? Is there a moment where you were striving to be loving and either that worked out or it didn't work out, but there was a lesson in what you did that you would like to share? 2, is there a moment in the last week that you're proud of yourself for? Did you catch yourself doing a thing, and I'd like us to be able to share, like, hey, I did a thing I'm proud of. We don't all have to get stickers to be proud of, but to hear yourself in front of a group say something that you did well, I think enforces for ourselves and helps others. And 3, so 1, do you have an example of striving to love towards everyone and how well that went or didn't go? 2, do you have a moment of being proud to yourself? Or 3, is there something new you learned about one of the tools that we have referred to? And if you're new around here, you don't know what those tools are. But I had one, which was that for sour... Oh, hold on. My new favorite image of sour that was sent in.
Wonderful.
Isn't that great?
That's great.
So the thing that I learned about sour this week was the seeing has to do with the accepting and the understanding. Is how do you see someone? You see them by accepting and understanding them. You can see someone without accepting and understanding them. It's not love, but the accepting and understanding are necessary to the seeing of love. I'm not sure if that's groundbreaking, but it was what I got new. So let me ask, do you have a thing that you were striving to be loving that went well or didn't go so well? 2, is there a moment you were proud of yourself that you'd like to share, or is there a thing that you had to do with one of our tools that you would like to share? So let me stop talking for a moment and look at all of your faces here and see, hey, is there a face that looks like it is wanting to share? There's a hand that wants to share. Go ahead, Andy. Talk to us.
So I was patient and loving with my daughter in spite of feeling really frustrated with her, is my example. But I want to make a comment on what you said initially.
Wait. Hold on. Can we pause? I'll take the comment, but I want to take a pause because you just shared something you were proud of. I don't want us to just run right over that and not give it some space to breathe and for you to feel proud in front of a whole group. That's awesome. So now that I've taken that moment, keep going.
Thank you for that. I didn't do the homework, but I want you to know that what you're doing in this process, as well as the hour afterwards, has had a continuing big impact on me. And it's okay to not be okay. I mean, there are a bunch of things that continually go through my mind. In my lifelong effort to be a better person and more loving, you are really reinforcing that. And so I didn't do my homework, but I don't want you to think that this whole process is not having a nice, important impact on me.
Thank you, Andy. I really, let me first take in the heartfeltness of that. I appreciate what you're saying. And 2, again, the homework assignment, if 90% of people didn't do it, it's like when I gave a math test. If the average grade on the math test was a 60, either I wrote the test badly or I didn't teach it well enough, because the average shouldn't have been a 60. So it's not about doing the exact homework, and I'm very, very glad to hear that a lot of what we talk about has been staying with you. Thank you, Andy. Someone else on a moment of striving to be loving towards everyone, a moment of being proud of yourself, or use of a new tool, or potpourri, just what this group as a whole is working for you. I saw there was another hand a moment ago. Was that Lisa?
I have a proud moment.
Okay. Hold on. Lisa, was that your hand up or no?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
No, but I was thinking of something, so I guess I'll go ahead and share.
Okay, that was not entrapment. I apologize for that.
Probably saw my eyebrows go up. So this week at work, we are learning about DISC, which is similar to the Myers-Briggs personality testing.
Right.
And we are taking all of these tests and learning about our coworkers as a group. And we are learning to tailor our communication
And I'll come back if you don't.
and learning how to communicate better as a group. So one of the things that I pointed out to the group is since they are new to taking some of these tests, is now that you know about your coworkers and where they fall on that spectrum, how to tailor your communication style in order to be more aligned. And those who come in, harsh to a meeting, they can see the other personalities in the group and maybe learn to soften themselves.
Amen.
I've had to do in the past after I took the Myers-Briggs years ago, and now I'm taking the DISC, and I'm teaching the people that are new to this type of testing how they can tailor their communication styles to flow
Thank you,
together.
Lisa. Thank you. It's a great one. I've thought about the love languages. I always teach this to wedding couples. I say, if first we go over, if they don't know the love languages, talk to them about the love languages and say, do you know what your partner's top 2 love languages are? Because it didn't matter how many gifts I got Jane. She didn't care about little gifts. She wanted acts of service. And it took me a long while to speak to her in the love language she wanted to be spoken to. Go ahead, Maria, and then James.
Well, I had a proud moment.
I love it. I love it. Let's have another proud moment.
It wasn't necessarily a spiritually proud moment, but I was out emptying the rain barrels, one of which, by the way, netted 6.5 5-gallon buckets, which was amazing to me. Anyways, Mom and I have had this issue between our garage and the neighbor's garage. They've got some volunteer trees growing there, which is going to affect both garages, roofs, sort of thing. And I had the brilliant idea of phoning the city because I saw that the power line was going in between the branches, which is never a good thing. We have no way to contact the owner, so we phoned the city, and the city is going to look after it for us, sort of thing. So
Brilliant.
I know.
Well, I think, Maria, I think it is a spiritual proud moment just because you're proud of yourself.
Oh. And actually, I even asked Mom for a pat on the back.
And you're proud of yourself for doing that. Well done.
I'm proud of myself for doing that too.
And
Yeah.
was Frances able to give you that pat on the back that you requested?
She did.
She
Absolutely.
obliged. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so if you're still thinking it's a moment of striving to be loving towards everyone, an example that went well or didn't go well, a moment of being proud to yourself, and being proud of ourselves reduces shame. Right? There's a calculus. The more shame you have, the less proud you are of yourself. The more proud you are of yourself, the less shame you have. So we're working at staving off shame, or something you have comment about the group as a whole, or one of the tools. Go ahead, James.
I have a good friend who texted me the other night that an uncle of his had died. We were supposed to go to an art exhibit that evening, and he couldn't go. And I got the text, and I thought, well, I should text him back to say that I'm sorry. And then I thought, no, I should press the call button and talk to him. And for a lot of us, that's a different thing to do. And it felt very good, and I think it meant a lot to him.
And you're proud of yourself, James?
Yeah.
How's that feel to be
Good.
proud of yourself? It's all right? Does it feel weird?
It feels good. Between you and my therapist, I'm making advances toward giving myself some stars.
Yeah. It's no laughing matter. It's laughing matter, but it's no laughing matter how important it is. It's almost shameful, criminal that we don't naturally feel proud of ourselves and feel all right to be proud of ourselves. Something went wrong somewhere. Patricia Mason.
That was me. We had a candidates forum here at the condo, and we have a very good working board. Right now we have 2 openings and we have 3 candidates. Well, everybody gave their opening statements, and then they spent the next half an hour doing a love fest of how wonderful the board was. Well, I kind of felt sorry for the guy that was running, that not on the board, but was running for an open seat. So I picked a fraction of his bio and asked him directly, or I kind of did the opening thing, but anyway, I asked him about it. And then everybody else started answering, not him, but everybody else started. And I had to keep going back and saying, okay, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? Finally, I realized he's probably as much as an introvert as I am. By the way, I was hiding behind a column, so he never did see me. But I felt good that I was trying to give him an opening against the majority.
Yeah.
I would just leave it with that. So
Wonderful. Good work, Patricia.
good.
Hey, Patricia, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked James. We're going to do this on the follow-up. How does it feel to say something you're proud of in front of all these people? Especially
I'm
for
in a
an
safe
introvert.
space. I can do that. I mean, I was just in a safe space down with my friends too, but you won't hear me talking to a lot of people.
Well, thank you for sharing, for being brave enough to share with the group. Thank you. Dan.
I often have a lot of problem with procrastination getting to jobs that I know will take a while. And this week I did a thing that took several hours of work, including some research for the church, wrote something up that I needed to write up. And I felt good about that.
Fantastic. Folks, I think we're doing something really important here. We have people actually talking about things that they're doing that they're proud of having done. I'm proud of all of us for making a space that we can do this in. Someone else got yeah, go ahead, Jack.
One of the, being at our age, we have little interaction with people. But going to the supermarket and talking to all the stockers has greatly improved my interaction with other people, because I get the feeling that they appreciate being seen.
Yes, of course they do. Everyone's dying to be seen, even if they protest against it. Possibly. I mean, there might be exceptions, but I fully believe that. Thank you for seeing people, Jack. Go ahead, Carol, and then Candace.
I had a hot chocolate with a woman whom I have sat next to for 30 years in the alto section of my chorus. And she was depressed, and I said, why? She said, because that idiot got elected mayor. That's the one I voted for. And then she went on to tell me when she became conservative and all the good things that Trump had done, and how grateful she was that, I've forgotten, that he was elected president. And then I talked to her about how the people in Congress couldn't talk to one another. She said, yes, that's shameful. I said, you and I are talking. And she said, yes, and I know you're not a terrorist. And then we began to find something which we both agreed on in terms of our grounding on something larger than politics. And we had a very lovely dinner.
Wonderful. Lovely, Carol. I mean, this is it. It's how do we start loving towards the people we disagree with? Invite them for coffee or hot chocolate? Fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well done. Candace.
Hi. Not quite. Well, Anyway, I had to go to a mall in the city to get my flu and COVID shots, and um, Google Maps has screwed up part of the route. But anyway, I got mine. And then I was in a mall where my late mom and I had gone to London Drugs um, on occasion, few occasions. I thought I'll pop into London Drugs and, you know, be nostalgic or whatever. And of course, the place is seems like twice the size it was because they've renovated and moved everything. But on my way there, right to the west of it, it's all a big joined mall. There's a grocery store whose name eludes me at the moment. And there was a fellow sitting outside um, with um, a reusable bag with handles and a box, small box. And there were groceries in it. And he mentioned that he could use some change, but he wasn't being pushy. And there were some items in his box. And I said, well, I don't have change right now, but when I come out of London Drugs, I will have. And when I came out of London Drugs, I walked back and I said, oh, I see you've got some, he'd gotten a couple of other items. And I said, he said, yeah, it's not quite enough. I said, well, how much more do you need? Like, would a pound be good? And he said, yes. And I happened to find like 454 grams, which is 1 pound, and it was on sale for $8. Anyway, and he mentioned, um, oh, was it called black cherry ice cream, which was 50 cents off. And I got him an extra package of sliced cheese. And the thing is, I was in a really good mood, and it's not that I'm going to be able to do this every day, but I came back out and gave him the items, and I said, hey, could you use a couple more reusable bags? Because it's like a box and a bag. Um, and he made brief reference to having a dog. I'm not sure if he does, but so I went over to my car, which was very nearby, and there's a big shopping bag with a zipper that I put all my other bags in. And I thought, oh, wait a minute. Why don't I just give him the big bag with the zipper? So, and he really hoped I wasn't giving him a bag that I really needed. I said, oh no, I've got another one I can put them in. And I shoved a $20 bill into his um, one reusable bag, which um, probably south of the border is worth about 50 cents, but what the heck? It's worth 20 up here. And and just talking away. And he, and actually, when I came out of London Drugs to come back to him, like there was a pillar on the sidewalk, and he seemed to be talking to somebody on the other side of the pillar. And I leaned over, and there was absolutely nobody there. But I thought, whatever.
Yeah,
And
wonderful,
anyway, so
Candace.
after I got him the groceries, well, just because I couldn't see him doesn't mean there was nobody there. So, I, you know, um, and after a moment's pause, he said, my name's Richard. And I said, I'm Candace. And we shook hands. Turned out we were each 69 years of age. And I felt proud, but I felt more, it was just like an extension of my
I love it.
good mood. And he said, maybe we'll meet again. And I said, well, you never know.
I love it,
But
Candace.
he was, so he was putting stuff into this new bag and away I went and away he went. And it was just a nice change and communi contacting, or what's the word I'm looking for? Connecting. There we
Connection.
go.
Let me interrupt you
Connecting
for
with
a
somebody
second.
as a real human being. Not that I never think people aren't, but
Candace,
this is
let
just
me
a
let
really
me
unique
let me
experience.
let me jump in and thank you for your story and ask everyone, did you get a sense while listening to Candace of how easy it is to be kind?
Mhm.
And it gives, for me, I can speak for me, it gives me a sense that it's not that hard to extend an extra kindness. And when I extend an extra kindness, I feel better. So for no other reason, let's be kind so we can feel better. Thank you, Candace, for sharing with us, and I think we all got that. Go ahead, Ron. Unless was there somebody Emily, I think I had asked to speak, before, and I don't know that you got to do that. So let's do Emily and then Ron.
Well, it was just a little thing, but this week I was having coffee with my daughter, and we hugged when we left. And I just spontaneously wanted to tell her, I said, "You are a really good woman."
Beautiful.
And it's just something we all like to hear things like that. I think.
Amen. Amen.
And she is. My daughter is a good woman.
Wonderful. And it doesn't take much to share that compliment. Thank you for doing so. Go ahead, Ron.
This is sometimes I get embarrassed by bragging, so this is a little embarrassing, but I'm doing this anyway.
Good for you.
I was walking the dog on the Spring Water Corridor Trail, and there was a houseless guy there, and he had a really nice wagon cart loaded with his stuff and a flat tire.
Oh.
And, he looked like he was about ready to cry.
Yeah.
And I talked to him for a little bit, and, he says, yeah, he didn't know what he was going to do, and he's got too much stuff to carry. And he says, well, maybe I'll see you in a while. And so I trotted home with the dog, and I knew that I had a spare bicycle pump, one that claps really small. And so I grabbed that, and then I realized that, it was in a small backpack that I somehow or another they just show up like hangers in the closet, and so I put that in there, and there was a rain gear that I'd gotten for motorcycling that it didn't work well for motorcycling, so I stuffed that in there. And I went back and I found him on the trail, and a patch kit. And I gave it to him, and he says, "Oh, let me go over and work on your house, and let me do something to repay you." And I said, "I don't want to do that. All my life, strangers have helped me. All my life,
Amen.
I've been stuck, and somebody has helped me. And this is how I want to pay them back. I don't want anything from you.
Amen.
I want to be the stranger that helps."
Amen. Thank you, Ron.
And the way you pay me back is by doing the same for someone when you're in a place to help.
I love it. Love it. And Ron, if I may point out, I don't think there's a person on the screen who thinks it's haughty to share about being proud of helping. It's weird that I get where that feeling comes from, is I don't want anyone to think that I'm that guy. But boys, I can tell you, listening to you, there was no smell of haughty. It was inspirational. So thank you for sharing. Alex, and then I if we got somebody else, or I got a new topic afterwards. Go ahead, Alex.
What I wanted to say is that, one, I'm proud of everybody who shared today. That all the wonderful things that everybody has done, and I think that deserves acknowledgement. For me, I find this subject of loving everybody really, really tough.
It is.
Like, I can be kind, even if I hate your guts, I can still be kind, right? But I find I really wrestle with the issue of loving people.
I'm with you, Alex, and let's.
It is easy to be kind,
not for everyone.
It is easier.
Yes.
That's what I should say. I should say it is easier to be kind.
Yes.
Because if somebody pisses me off, I can still bite my tongue and do the right thing, even though I want to choke the living crap out of them, right? I could do that. But in that moment, I can't love them. And if somebody is being irritating to me or I just don't like them, I have a really hard time with that, but I can still be kind. And I guess I wanted to say that because I didn't want other people to feel if others in the group are struggling with this, I wanted
Thank you
I
for
wanted
bringing that up. Thank you.
be aware that they aren't the only one.
Folks, I am working on this idea of how do we be loving towards people who annoy the crap out of us. And I'm trying, and I was doing it when we so at a half hour until you're welcome to join early. It's usually when I'm figuring out how my cameras work or how to do. And we talked a little bit about this. How do you be kind to the people who annoy you? And one idea that, again, this is unpublished, this is not cooked yet, but one of the ideas is to just keep leveling up and to love the people who slightly irk you, and then maybe love the people who and before that, you figure out how to love yourself. And it's just all practice. You're not going to climb Everest the first time. You're not going to run a marathon starting from zero. It's about successive approximation, about doing a little bit more. Diana used the word, I can't remember. What word did you use, Diana? Incremental progress. That we make incremental progress towards loving and being more loving. And just not being a dick and not being an asshole. That counts. That's a step towards loving people more, is stop being mean to people. Oh, I got some more people's hands up. Go ahead, Ray, and then John.
Well, yeah, I thank Alex for bringing that up because that's exactly how I feel. I can be kind to someone.
Good.
I can show my humanity without loving them. Because saying to someone I love you, or even feeling that, is a very special thing to me.
So I think what we have to get to, Ray, is which part of love are we talking about? And I'm going to go with just seeing, accepting, and understanding. If we can get to those three with somebody who we disagree with, we've already made great strides.
Well, yeah, and so I think when you do that, when you're honest with yourself about that, that you are really loving yourself. Doesn't mean that you're, not being kind to someone, but you're really taking care and loving yourself.
Amen.
And the other thing is when Maria was talking about the tree and the power lines, I thought about the 5 steps. It wasn't something she could do, but she'd gotten to the point where with just a little help, she was going to get it resolved. So she's about at 4. And so that's what that reminded me of.
Oh, I love that, Ray. Thank you for bringing that in.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, John. Thank you, Ray.
You mentioned the Progressing Spirit essay from this week, and I think that there's some really important concepts in there in terms of loving has nothing to do with turning a blind eye.
Correct.
Or ignoring. There are some really important factors in the positive regard for another person, and at the same time, there's measures of accountability and essentially issues of justice that are really important to bring to bear.
I agree. I'm with you. I'm afraid that we are sliding into our topic being how to love our enemy, and I really, it's just on a napkin so far. It's on a piece of paper towel. I'm not prepared to have our full discussion on this yet, but I would take, if anybody wants to read the article from Progressing Spirit of the last week, or to think about how would you chunk down if the goal is to love everyone. And I'll give you a hint where I'm thinking of going is that here, it's on this part of my picture right here. Those of you who have been here a long time, that's a robber, that's a mermaid, is start thinking about loving your enemies and thinking about the robber and mermaid. And we'll come back to that next week. Let me wrap up where we are. Thank you all for sharing about being human. It's amazing what it does for us. to hear other people struggling with the same things we're struggling with, of being seen and struggling with being proud and doing the right thing no matter what. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. So thank you all for sharing that. Let's do our prayers, and then we'll do that as a transition. Not that everything we're saying aren't prayers. Everything we're doing right now is praying as well. But we do want to take a little bit of time to focus on those who need a little extra love and light. Maria?
Right. These are the individuals to whom we are sending light and love. Mish, Joe Ludwig, Alex and Rebecca, Heidi, Sheridan H., Arulane Hill, Ebony, Beth Carney, Cullen and the kids, Karen, Vincent and Jason, John W. and Rose M., Aaron, Irma P. and her family, Jennifer G., Sally and Bob B., Jeff H., and Ray R. If there is another person in our community to whom we can offer light and love, please put their name in the chat, and I will add them to the list on Facebook. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Thank you, Maria. We'll take a minute. Thank you. And it gave me a chance to look in Facebook, and there was this beautiful comment from Agnes who said, "We can start with small things," like a quote from MLK. "If I can't do one big thing, I will start. I will small great things. I will start with small great things." Thank you for sharing that. And I'm so glad to know that the Facebook chat is going and people are commenting and interacting there as well. So last week I had a topic and it didn't go well. And I thought about it and I thought, well, I didn't ask the right question about it. And the topic was expectations. And I didn't really know where I was going with it, but I figured out a question that I think is a winner. Of course, this is an expectation, so good luck. I wanted to ask, and I want to start with people who haven't shared so much. What do other people expect of you? And is it fair? What's something other people expect of you? And is it fair? People expect you to be blank, and that's fair, but people expect you to be blank, and that's not fair.
I think it's hard to know what other people expect of you, of me.
Okay.
It is hard for me to know what other people expect from me.
That's a brilliant point, and that makes me think I might have started with my other question is what are things you expect of others? So maybe we start with that question. Is what are things, Meg, if you don't mind, what are things, and you can pass, what are things that you expect other people to do that they do, and what are things that you expect people to do that they miss?
I really expect people to tell me what they want from me. I had a friend I was sitting with the other day, and I said, well, I think I ought to go. And she said, well, don't go yet. And I said, okay, tell me when you want me to go. And she did. And that was very helpful. For one thing, I knew then that she had wanted me to stay because she was able to tell me to go. So I really expect people to
Good.
I really expect people to be straight forward with me. This is what I want from you. This is, don't do that again. And that kind of thing.
You expect clear communications.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And things go well when that happens. What's something
Right.
else that you
They go horrible when they don't.
There's a greater possibility things will go wrong. Absolutely. What's something else that people expect of you or others expect? What are things people expect of you? Is that fair? And what are things you expect of other people? And is that fair? I expect people not to be dicks. And I keep getting surprised. I expect people to hold their shit together and not to take it out on other people, but I'm occasionally wrong. What's another one you have that you expect of others or others expect of you? Go ahead. Ellen?
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah, go ahead,
Being
Sarah.
wrong when other people are dicks. Is it just that you're wrong, or does it hurt?
When
you
both.
perceive somebody else to be, as you said, a dick, does that how does that make you feel?
Both.
Besides wrong.
Right.
Somebody texted it hurts. I agree.
It hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say one more. I don't want to change my expectations. I don't want to expect people to be assholes. I want to expect that they're not. Ellen or Andy, thank you, Sari.
Well, two things. One, just based on what you just said now, I think if I know that somebody is going to probably respond like an asshole, I'd rather expect them to and then be pleasantly surprised if they don't, because otherwise you're just constantly being disappointed and frustrated.
Fair. That's fair.
But the other thing, what I was going to say before was, for me, the more relevant question is, what do I expect of myself?
Oh, no. Don't get there yet. That's my third point. I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I take it back. Can you unhear that?
No. We'll get to that question in a moment.
I erase it.
We'll get.
Well, I guess just in terms of general expectations, kind of like what I just said, if my expectations are too high or unrealistic, I just feel like I just like to have low expectations.
Right.
And that way I'm not as disappointed when my expectations aren't met.
That seems fair. Go ahead, James. Thank you, Ellen.
I was thinking of the classic mother's response. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Which hurts a whole lot more.
We got to try that in this household a little more. I have a 16-year-old daughter. It's a rough time right now. So let me get to Ellen's question, which was on my sheet, which is, what do you expect of yourself? And then part B, is it fair? What do you expect of yourself? And is it fair? Go ahead, Gord.
At the ripe old age of almost 58, I'm finally learning that I don't really understand boundaries. And as I understand boundaries, I expect myself to get it every time. And because I'm finally getting it, I think everybody else should be getting it too, which is
right. And they should get it instantly, just like you're not.
Yeah, exactly. And so, no, I don't think it's fair, actually, to hold myself to that standard all the time, but I still do it.
For now.
Yeah.
Remember our stages of learning.
Yeah.
Right? So, stage 4.3 is where... Remember what 4.3 was?
No.
Okay, so stages of learning. Thank you. It's all good.
Probably that I need help. Is it?
Yeah. So the five stages of learning go like this. The first stage is
Can't do it.
can't do it.
Don't know
Second
it.
stage,
Need a lot of hand
you
holding.
need a lot of hand
External.
holding. You need a lot of hand holding. 3 is you need hints from the outside. 4 is you can give yourself hints. And 5, you can do it without thinking. 4.3, so 4 is where you can give yourself hints. And 4.3 is where you're at that point where you can give yourself a hint, but you're about 5 minutes late. Like you were like, oh shit, that was I should have held that. That was a boundary. I just missed it. And that's one of the stages towards mastery is you give yourself a hint, but it's after you've already left the kitchen.
Yeah, and when my spiritual barometer's not working well, then I fall down at least one level.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't remember this, when you're stressed at all, your spiritual barometer is not reading perfectly, we slide down a stage. But so I would say, Gord, be proud of yourself. You're catching yourself some of the time. So you're at stage 4.3. You're on your way there. 4.4 is a lot nicer. There's a long distance in that 0.1. Yeah. What else do we expect of ourselves that is either fair or not fair? I expect myself to make a shit ton of mistakes, and I'm really good at it. Making mistakes and forgiving myself for making mistakes. What else do you expect of yourself?
I expect that I can get everything done on my list in one day.
I'm gonna
Which is not fair.
Yeah, that's Dr. Phil used to ask the great question, which is, and how's that working for you?
Not working for you. Yeah.
Maria, we forgive you for not being able to get everything on your list done in one day.
Thank you. I got to work on doing that for myself. That's it.
Anyone else able to do everything that's on their to-do list the first time they sit to do it? Am I the only one who's able to do that? Is that just me?
All for 2 days.
I limit my list to very,
Right.
I limit my list.
The list is step 1, make a list. Done. Okay, we're done. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I saw. There's Jack. Go ahead, Jack.
It just reminded me what Rumi said. It is by our failures we are loved.
Oh, ding dang it. Say that again.
It is by our failures that we are loved.
That's deep.
Yeah,
I think I see like 4 people writing that down right now, or it looks like they're writing that down. It's by our failures that we know we are loved. Can we love ourselves in the place where we make mistakes? Dare we?
Yes.
Can we love other people in the places where they make mistakes?
Sure.
Yes.
We can. The answer is yes, we can. It's possible. Likely? Not if you don't work on it. Okay.
Well, learning love in its truest form is the hardest thing that you can do for yourself.
Jack, I'm going to quote Rumi back to you. And Rumi said, your job is not to seek love, but to seek out the barriers you have put up from receiving it.
Yep.
What a fun time we're having. I did have one other thought. Is anyone else on the expectations? I have one other thought, quick thought, and my core group, don't yell at me. I think I got this one. Spiritual barometer gauge. I'm going to tell you a story, and I think this is a way to know if your spiritual barometer is set to -3. Is I was texting with Damon, who sometimes writes a column for 77% Weekly. He's in Kern County Prison. And he and I were texting back and forth. I finally got him to accept a gift from me of text messages because he was relying on the 3 free ones he was given every month. I was like, let me just pay for your text messaging. It's 5 cents a text. I can. So he and I have been texting a little more frequently, which is nice. And he let me know the following, and here's your spiritual barometer test. That in Kern County Prison, if you want the kosher meals, you have to get that approved by the Catholic priest.
Okay.
Oh,
it's absurd, right?
Wow.
It's just absurd, but I kind of understand, like, we don't have enough rabbis to go around. Anyone get pissed off on that? Is your spiritual barometer set to... How many of you were set to... How many of your spiritual barometer you take in... Maybe it's like when you used to go in for the oil and you had to check on the dipstick how much oil you have. Maybe this is a little test of your spiritual barometer. Did this story irk you? Not anything you need to change, but just to know I might be in a slightly pissy mood because this story irked me.
Maybe it should irk us all.
Could. It is irksome. It's a little insane. Also, on the irksome, like, to me, there's no humor in the fact that the prison is no longer supplying some hygiene supplies due to budget cuts.
Oh, good Lord.
That one I'm not finding funny at all.
Yeah, I wonder where the budget cuts came from.
Canada, I think. No, I was just blaming Canada because it felt good, because you guys would apologize even if you didn't do anything.
Well, we're sorry we weren't part of that.
So let me
Only we were the 51st state.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's gonna happen.
Dear ones, we're gonna break into small groups for discussion. Let me put everybody back up on the screen and say thank you all. Truly, thank you all for coming and sharing yourselves. This community would not be the same if you were not part of it. We'll do this again next week. I'm going to stop the recording here, and then